Hi, it's Pauline, and today I'm going to go through my beauty regimen and also how I do my makeup. So without trying to do the same thing that's already on YouTube, I did want to put my own spin on it and show how I use natural products, because it seemed like every video, and even at Sephora, there was just a lot of non-natural stuff, and I mean, when I'm looking at the ingredients and it has a cancer level risk of like 9 or 10, it's just not something I want to be putting on my face, especially if you're someone who goes to work and you'll be using makeup every single day, all day long. It's just not worth it when there's so many other awesome natural products out there. Like it. So let's get started. Honeybee Gardens is a great brand, and they have a powder foundation. And I have used the liquid foundations before, and I just feel like, it feels like it's so caked on. So in the past few years, when powder foundations became really popular, I've definitely jumped on that bandwagon. I don't know how to say these, but Kabucha brush, we're gonna go with that, K-A-B-U-C-H-A, Kabucha. And it's just flat, as you can see. It has a flat head, and you're going to be doing circular strokes. I've had brushes forever, and I was like, I don't want to invest in new brushes. It's such a pain. Well, it's worth it. They get prickly, the bristles fall out. The cheap ones are kind of hurt your eyes a little bit because they're not super soft. And then the way they apply it, it just looks better. So it's worth it. So I have priced out some very affordable, not expensive, because boy, can it get ridiculous. So these are affordable brushes. I want to say this one was like $12. Maybe it was less with the discount from Honeybee Gardens. And so this is actually the Honeybee Gardens Kabucha brush, but there's so many different brands of them. So with just circular strokes, I'm getting it in the foundation, and I'm going to do the same thing on my face. So circular strokes all over my face. And if you have blemishes or under eye circles, I just go a little darker, and you can already see it's taking away the shine and giving me just kind of an even finish all across my face. So, like we talked about, the under eye circles or blemishes, you can just do a bit more under your eye. And also, my massive amount of hair really shades my neck like a scarf. So the first thing the lady said at Sephora was, wow, your neck is totally different shade than your body. Like, well, yeah, it is. So this brush, I really love the Echo Tools brushes. Also not expensive, super soft bristles, and you'll be seeing, I'll tell you when I'm using more of them, but they look like they have like this wooden handle. Anyway, they make this brush that I like, and it's really great for doing large areas. So you can just get all one color really quickly. If you're using a bronzer and you want to do it on your arms, you could do that too. And we'll go over what bronzers are. So Honeybee Gardens, the little case comes separately. You just put the powder thing in there, it magnetizes in there. Okay. The next thing I do, I like to get all my powders on first, because it will cover up my eyes or my eyelashes. I don't use fake eyelashes, but it'll cover up the mascara and get all over that. So I do all the free, loose, powdery stuff first. Okay. Mineral Fusion makes a cool bronzer. Mineral Fusion. This one is Luster. It's a bronzer duo. So it's got the highlighter and the bronzer. The bronzer, it just accents more. If you can see in the shadow, like, I mean, I have a little shadow here. Especially when you're, it's kind of, I don't know, it's more of a sign of youth, I think, this little shadow that's created. So the bronzer just helps accent that and make it stand out. Who knows if the bronzers will be popular in years to come, but anyway, it's what's in style right now. So this is another Kabucha brush. It came with, I'll show you the other brush kit I use. This is Real Techniques. I loved it because it was very affordable. I want to say maybe $15 on Amazon, and or you could get them on iHerb. But it pulls down here, and then it's got this little drawstring that you pull tight, and so it sits on your counter. Yay! And then when you're done, it closes up and it velcros, and you're ready to go. And it keeps the brushes kind of protected and safe. This was an old Lancome brush I had for a liquid foundation. but this is the same kind of brush. These two are the same. This would be if you had blemishes and you wanted to do like a blemish foundation or more intense. This, you could use this for blush. It's kind of small, but I use it for blending my bronzer. And then this one is my blush brush. It's got a super soft tip. It did not come with the kit, but it's made by Real Techniques. And I love that it has a round, flat bottom, so you could just set it right on the counter. That was created intentionally. And then the only other brush that I use for my face, this is my highlighter brush. This is made by Echo Tools. And I like that it's a fan shape because you're going to do your highlighter just right here. So it just gets perfectly, and you'll see that in a second. So let's get this Kabuchi, how do you say it, brush that came with Real Techniques. And wherever you touch first, so I mean, it's going to be light because it could be way too dark easily. So wherever you touch first is going to be the darkest. So I always like to start up here because I don't want it really dark here. But you do a sucky face, kissy face, it's that shadow area that we're going to be going across. So, and I just kind of rub it in, back and forth, and really kind of blend it. And if I feel like it's too dark, so you can already see how that's kind of just accented it compared to none. It's just already created this dramatic darkness, shadow, what you want to call it. So now I'm going to use this other brush that I don't use for anything except just to blend. It kind of gets the excess. Just swirly. You're basically painting your face. I hate makeup, but it's a cultural tradition. You don't look good in videos, especially look really washed out if you don't use makeup. So it's just something we have to do, us poor women. What can you say? All right, so this is the highlighter, back and forth. Highlighters come in all different colors. They even come in shades of pinks and things. I don't necessarily love them, so I just use this bronzer, and if I want to add a little blush, then it just kind of tints the, highlighter. I just use this highlighter, and if I want to add a little blush, it just tints the highlighter. So it's going to go right on that cheekbone. Okay, so it just adds a little highlight. And this is taking my face from being, you know, all one kind of monocolor to having some definition and highlighting some areas. And then also, I'm going to take that bronzer brush I just used, and you can do bronzer on your nose line, a little across your chin, and just barely tapping it, because I don't want a lot. I may even just do the first stroke on my hand to get some of it off your cheekbone, and then I'll even go over my chin a little bit, just to give my face a little color at this point, so it's not just one color. Okay, now I don't always, sometimes if I'm going for more natural and I don't necessarily want a pink on my face, I will leave this alone, but I'm going to use the Mineral Fusion, and the shade is, what is that? How do you say? Airy. Airy is the shade. And so this is, and these are all, again, natural products. So just, there's my blush brush, and it's going to be over the same line. Your blush goes across that cheekbone. So basically where we just applied the highlighter, it's going to go over the same area. Now my face is starting to have a little color, a little definition. I've done the bronzer. Now it's time to go to the fun part, the eyes. I love the eyes because this whole stuff stays the same. This is just the base. But the eyes you get to play with. And I do like to incorporate my outfits a little. So I'll, you know, depending on what I'm wearing, I'll get different stuff for my outfits. Okay, Honeybee Gardens makes a great eyeliner. I have the black and the brown. And for me, I like the Belgian chocolate. It's a really dark brown, almost black, but it's definitely brown. And then I use black, depending on very rare outfits. I haven't even opened it yet, so that's how rare I use the black. It's pretty much always the brown for me. I do try and make my makeup look natural. I mean, it is obvious I'm wearing makeup, but I like to keep it as natural as possible. And the first thing I do is eyeliner. So your eyes can be crinkly a little, so it's easier if you smush them out and close your eyes, and you're going to get as close to as you can to the crease on your eyeline, right above the where your eyelashes come out of your eye. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here I know it looks super like weird, but it's not going to when we're done. It's really bold and not what I would want. It's gonna get covered up by the eyeshadow. So basically, I've just pulled it a real dark line right above the what do we call it? I keep not knowing what to say. Right above the lid. Let me try. Now I'm going to do a very faint line across the bottom. So same kind of thing. And I'm like barely tapping at this point. And then maybe I'll even smudge it with my finger because I don't want it to be super bold. The bottom is just to kind of accent. So you can see already the dramatic difference from just doing that. Alright, so other eye. Okay, I can see I went a little darker on this side. So this is where you have to not be like uber perfectionist and just know you're going for sisters, not necessarily twins. And it's okay if they look a little different. So we've got some drama going on with the eyes. Now it's time. Oh, and let me show you real quick my eye brush set. So again, Real Techniques. Love it, love it. It's got the same feature. So this is for eyes. You'll have and some of these didn't come with it and some are falling out. But this is the all over brush. It's kind of oblongish, I don't know, shaped. It's not perfectly round. This one is your light color you're going to do all over your eye. Then this one is the crease brush that I will use in the creases with a darker contrasting color. So I'll show you that one. Here would be if you're using liquid eyeliner. It's just a real tiny little brush. But I also have used it for if I have a really dark eyeshadow, you can use that as an eyeliner too. It can just go right over. And then this is for like a really small area if you want to do a small spot, I'm not sure. And this one and this little tiny guy came with the eyebrow kit, but this is for doing your eyebrows, which we'll do in just a little bit. Okay, so starting with the all over color. I love the Honeybee Gardens mineral eyeshadows. This one is called Satin Sheets, and it's just a real kind of skin tone color. And yes, they are sparkly shimmery. They do have a line of matte colors that aren't shimmery at all. But I happen to be a shimmery girl, so I like the added oomph it gives. And usually they're dusty, so usually there's enough dust in the lid for what I even want application wise. So these things will last forever. I used to buy True Colors minerals from high school, and I still have all of those from high school too. And they're the same kind of thing, so I use those. So that was simple, right? Just all the way to the eyebrow. And this also is going to create some definition in your eyebrows. So, I mean, it's not crazy shimmery, but it definitely bounces the light off. So, and I'll just swirl it all around in the brush and cover it up. This basically just creates a nice base color. And you'll want to wash your brushes once a week. Soap and water is probably fine, but they do make brush solutions that you could use if you wanted. Up to you. Okay, so I like to do at least 2 shades on my eyes. I mean, even this right here is not bad, but I like a little more pop. So I'll definitely do the one light shade that really adds highlights to your eyes. Then across just the lid, I might do a second medium color. Sometimes this is the one, like I'm going to use one that's going to match the lighter shade of pink in my jacket. And then a darker color, depending on how dramatic you want, from either darker or to really dark. And I'll show you how to do a really dark. So I am loving this angelic color. It really pulls out the pinks in the jacket. So I'm going to do, with the same brush, the all over brush, I'm just going to do a light dip in the Flirtatious. Tap, tap, tap to get the excess off. It's just going to go over the lid and give me a hint of pink on my lid. And I can see it covered up my eyeliner a little more than I like. So I'll probably just go over the eyeliner a smidge more to make it stand out again. because 2 coats of eyeshadow pretty well covered it up. Okay, that's better. All right, now we're gonna do, so this is a crazy dark color, Passage to India. You would normally look at this color and think, this is for the crazy teenagers who wanna look nutso. Actually, you only need the smallest, smidgiest of drops on your crease brush. And then the blending of it, it doesn't look bad at all. It looks really good. It looks, it adds a little drama to your eye but it doesn't look overwhelming. So that's an option. Or with this outfit, this one is darker. It's Sunset Strip. It's definitely a darker color. So I've got Passage to India, which is a real dark coffee colored brown, and then I've got this Sunset Strip, which would keep me more neutral, maybe a little warm highlights on my eye. But let's just try this Passage to India, because this is real dark. So I don't know if you can see that. It's super dark. Alright, so I've got my crease brush. That's what it looks like. Okay. And again, there is plenty of powder in just the lid to do what we're going to do. So, and I will get some off of me just so it's not too much. So here it's like in the crease and then brush it back and forth. Okay, and if it's too much, I feel like that's too much, I'll do that. Or I can even get my original brush I was using. I know there's still a little powder in it, and I'll just blend a little so it's not quite so dark. But I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. Got it a little too high. And so when you close your eyes, you can see the difference in the two eyes. I just add a little more definition. Other eye. Oh yeah, and then get some off. So in the crease, and then I'll draw it, like pushing it into my eyeball, kind of crease. And I like to draw it all the way down. And then just kind of blending. I'll get my other brush out and blend it. So it's not quite as dark. But now I have the drama. Okay. So next is the best part. This is like the icing on the cake. You got all your eyes done. Now it's time for my favorite ever mascara product. Well, or my favorite ever makeup product is mascara. If I was on a desert island and I had only one piece of makeup to take with me, I would take mascara. That's what I would take. But it's funny, other people say different things. I asked that once on Facebook, and I got everything from lipstick to I don't know what. But for me, if my eyes pop, I'm good to go. I don't have a lot of blemishes, so I don't really need foundation. But two big things, if you have blemish problems, cutting out processed foods, ASAP, fried foods, McDonald's, get rid of that stuff as soon as you can. Sugar, junk, candy, all of that stuff is why you're getting pimples. That's how your body gets rid of the junk that's in a lot of those foods, is it makes this little eruption of disgustingness, and that's a pimple. It's, believe it or not, that's really what it is. When you cut that stuff out, your skin will become clear. No blemishes. But like I said, if you do have a blemish, you can just take one of the little brushes, like this little guy, and really concentrate in the foundation, really apply it to a blemish, and that will, even that powder stuff will work great. Under eye circles, you are not getting enough sleep, and I don't care what they say, this is the truth. So eating healthfully and getting enough sleep will really affect how your eyes look. Okay, so lecture over. Let's go to the mascara. I have tried the Honeybee Gardens Truly Natural Mascara, and I don't love it. And this being my favorite makeup piece, it has to be good. So the Mineral Fusion is better. To me, Honeybee Gardens, and I don't know if you have anything comparable, but it's too wet. And check out the brushes. Honeybee Gardens Mineral Fusion. Is that Mineral Fusion? Yes, Mineral Fusion. Honeybee Gardens and Mineral Fusion. The brushes themselves, to me right there, that's huge. This one is like way sparser than this one. This one has a lot of bristles that are closer together. So the brush alone is not as good. And it's really wet, and I feel like it doesn't accumulate as well. This one kind of adds up on itself, and it really creates a dramatic lengthening look. I don't use eyelash curlers. I have one. I guess I could use it. I don't use it because, I don't know, I don't really need it. I have super long eyelashes. If you don't, they make fake eyelashes are like all the rave now, and I've nothing against fake eyelashes. So if you want to try those out, there's tons of them. I'm no expert in them because I don't use them. But anyway, so this is how I do my mascara. So I start with the eye, and I kind of blink through it. It's almost like I'm brushing it on. So I'm just blinking through. This is, I mean, even when it's brand new, this is definitely a drier mascara, and I think that that helps with the volumizing because it dries quickly on your eyelashes, and it just paints it, and then the next layer just paints more on the dried, and it keeps kind of building, so it thickens in that way. And the Honeybee Gardens, I feel like my eyelashes stick together, maybe because it's so wet and because the bristles are so sparse. So as I'm blinking, I'm pulling it through and forcing the bristles to force my eyelashes apart. So I think the brush is really huge in that it's really close and forcing my eyelashes not to clump. So at this point, I'm gonna get more on. I probably need a new bottle, but it lasts a long time. So blinking, forcing it to brush through. It's already kind of drying. Feel free to fast forward. This is boring and you get it. But I don't know how much people like need a total, you know, exactly how I do things. So I thought, well, might as well. So that's the top. You can see the difference. I do have long eyelashes. I'll preface that. And I do the bottom. The bottom I do like a back and forth motion because if I was to do the same technique, I'd get it all over my face. Okay, so way different, huh? Alright, I'm gonna do the other eyelashes real quick in a normal mirror. Okay, so that is my eyelashes, and we're almost done. The last thing that I would like to do is I just use a lip gloss, and we're gonna do my eyebrows. I'm gonna do my eyebrows, you're gonna watch. So we get the eyebrow brush. That's a lot of B's in there. All right, here's the eyebrow brush. It's slanted and flat. Okay. I like this Cameo Dark Perfect Brow. I'm going to say this is not, I don't think this is healthy. I don't know if it's healthy. Actually, it might not be that bad. I don't know. I'd have to look at the ingredients, but I recognize a lot of them. So it might be okay. There's not that many ingredients in it. I figure it's barely going on my eyebrows, and I don't always do my eyebrows. I suffer from 7th grade peer pressure. My eyebrows used to be a lot thicker and would go down where they're supposed to, but in 7th grade it was like all the rave to pluck your eyebrows really thin. So my grandma said, don't do that, you're gonna regret that. Well, you know what, Grandma? I do. You're right. So if I really want to, basically my eyebrows could be a little fuller here, and then you're supposed to line up your pencil with the corner of your eye, and that's where your eyebrows should end. So I might do a little more down. But honestly, I'm not too worried about my eyebrows, but maybe you are, so this might benefit you. So this Cameo is dark. I got this on Amazon, Dark Perfect Brow. And they make other shades, but even still with dark, it gives you 3 shades. And I go with the darkest, as you can see. I have really dark eyebrows. So I do just a tap, tap, tap. I mean, hardly any. You don't want to use eyeliner on your eyebrows because then you look like a prison girl. Okay, so the whole idea of doing your eyebrows is it's just supposed to be almost like this matte, like a smudging on it. It's just this shadowy smudging. It's not this dark, bold, crazy eyeliner streak that you're putting on you. So I will even get the first initial bit off. And actually, it's not even having very much on, so I might not have even done a good enough job at getting it on there. So, okay, so I'll get the first bit off. And then I'm just going to come in here and fill the sparseness in. Do you see that? It's just like a smudge. And if I'm doing good, it's very difficult on a webcam. But I'll even like smudge it down, just like we're dotting here. We're creating the presence of an eyebrow, but we're not going to be using a hard line. And then maybe in here where it's kind of sparse, I'll come in and just, you know, smudge. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just creating a little shadow. And if I wanted, maybe at the base here to fill in where it's sparse. And just to create a more filled look. So, again, just smudge. And again, we're going for sisters, not twins. Don't be super upset if they don't look identical. As long as they look like they belong on the same face, you're good. So I need to get a little more. So smudge, 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 and tappy tap tap. And then we're just gonna draw this line down. And it comes with a brow brush. When I put lotion on my face, for me having thick eyebrows, that's the time to brush them. As well, they're all wet from the lotion or getting out of the shower. So smudge, smudge, smudge. Bring it down to that line where it meets your nose and the crease of your eye. Meet up. And so for me, I think that's probably good. And then maybe just the base. And then we did here a little bit too. Okay, and then we already did this, but having a highlight eyebrow, the satin sheets we use, that's a real highlighter eyeshadow along the edge of your eyebrows, makes it pop out a little more and stand out. So that I think that looks good. Okay, then the last thing we're going to do is put on a lip gloss. And Honeybee Gardens has a great line of lip glosses. I like Glam I Am. And then for a darker shade, I've got a Viper. I think just because the eyes are a little bit dark, I'm going to go with a lighter shade of lip gloss. So we'll do the Glam I Am. I don't use lip liner, but if you do have small lips, you can do a lip liner just outside the crease. Not anything crazy, but just outside, just to give them a fuller feel. So lip gloss. I don't use lipstick really ever. I like lip gloss. I like how it looks shiny and smush it in. Okay, and then whether you use lip gloss or not, or lipstick, you've probably seen this trick, but to keep it from getting off your teeth, you go like that and just pull it out and it gets on your finger, which is kind of not the coolest, but it gets all that would normally touch your teeth, it gets it off on your finger. So that's a weird trick, but it's what you're supposed to do. So anyway, ta-da! This is the end product. So I hope you enjoyed watching my makeup tutorial video. If you have any questions, definitely ask me. You can leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. Otherwise, I will have posted also where you can find all these products and again the names of them that I used. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.